Today I'm on the way to take a look at this new launch called Vela Bay, which is about to come up in D16, the Bayshore. We haven't had new launches around this area, and it caught my interest because wow, this is like in my backyard, you know.
There's around 60 hectares of land behind me being redeveloped. This area is poised for growth, and I'm talking about 10 years worth of master plan in the making.
I'm like Siglap, Katong, and then you have the Bayshore coming up, so I got to find out what it is, right? I too once was a sucker for buying something along this stretch of the East Coast, and I made some mistakes when buying my apartment back then, which costed me, and I feel like shouldn't cost you as well. So if you want to learn more about my mistakes, come along on this journey.
So today we are here in Vela Bay at the Bayshore D16. This is a 515 unit development that's expected to TOP in 2030. Direct access to the TEL with unobstructed sea views in most of the unit mix over here. This is of course what all the agents are going to tell you, but you're here because there are some things that you want to know about the developments that probably other agents are not telling you. Number one, if you're coming to a development looking for a certain something, then you ought to have that certain something. For example, if you want to be near ACS next time, then you got to be in Tengah. If you're looking for unblocked nature views, maybe try Kent. If you want something exclusive high-end, try Ardmore Draycott. My mistake was buying to seaside residences. Of course, everyone came to seaside looking for sea views, and I basically just lost out on most of the people coming in. So if you're buying something in Vela Bay, you ought to have the sea views. Otherwise, you just lost out to maybe 75% of your other competition. Secondly, floor plans are super duper important. You need to dare to go for the bigger layouts, especially the 3-bedders, because the supply of 2 bedrooms over here are going to come up quite a bit. I was quite lucky to have bought a 2-bed 2-bath instead of a 2-bed 1-bath. But if you have any thoughts of reselling this in future, you have to consider at least going for a 3-bedroom. I've transacted and served many families looking for properties along the East Coast all the way to Bayshore, and a lot of them are very particular about a functional 3-bedroom, not just the compact 3-bedroom, but one with utility and yard, because their family setups do often come with an additional help. And thirdly, you need to be ready to put up with inconveniences for a while. Let me give you an example. A couple of years back, 3 years back, I put some buyers over at the Bayshore because the Bayshore plan was obviously happening, and back then the TL was not ready yet. With so much growth is because of this new MRT line that's going to happen in 2024. We went in at a very, very low price of about $1.1 million, but it did come with a cost, all the negative externalities that you can think about with the growth of a new township. So for one, you are going to be met with construction, you are going to be met with traffic, you are going to be met with congestion. These are the costs of buying into something like that. Well, the good part of it is that half of the time you're not living in it, you'll probably only come back to this 3-4 years later. In other words, the hard part is already over. The same thing in the seaside. When I bought it, questions that I get a lot when I was trying to sell my unit at the seaside was, oh, where's the nearest hawker center? Where is the nearest bus stop? You know, things like that. 50% of the clients that come through will ask this question, but there are also 50% of the other half that comes in and say that, oh, I currently live nearby, I know where this is, and I only want to buy within the East Coast. So you need to be sure that you can choose a unit that can speak to them. Now let's talk about the comparables that we have over here. First of all, Singhai didn't buy this cheap at all. But then again, this land was highly sought after by the big boys. There were 8 bids that happened on this land because the demand for something like that is just so bloody high. But the difference is that because it is quite a high-rise development, the prices over here in terms of median PSF is going to jump from something low to something really high. So I expect things to be going around $3,000 mark compared to nearby Costa del Sol, which is doing on average about $2,001, $2,002 for full sea view units. But when we go to something newer like seaside residences, we are seeing units going up to about $2,006, $2,007 for sea view facing units. So if you're gunning for something around the 1,000 square feet region, you are expecting to spend about $3 million here. Time to start selling your kidneys. But that's fair because in other parts of East Coast, in D15, we have already seen transaction going as far as about $3,000 per square foot, even without sea views. And for a 3-bedroom, I am expecting profits of about $300,000 to $400,000. Not much, but in terms of getting a piece of the East Coast, this is probably something that people are willing to pay for. And one of the things that I didn't really like about this is that the size of this development in terms of its land size is just about the smallest along the East Coast. Costa del Sol, for example, is about 4 times larger than this. The seaside is 2 times as big as this. Not forgetting the upcoming GLS that we have over at Bayshore Drive, definitely bigger. And if you can't tell by now, I am a fan of Costa del Sol. But okay, if you die still want to see Vela Bay, we do have 1 to 5 bedrooms over here, and preview is starting soon on 11th of April. But remember, whatever that you're buying, you're living on rented views, given that the Long Island Reclamation Plan is in the works. My name is Mama Joo, and I'm always here to help you babies, especially when you're looking into my backyard off the East Coast. Okay, thanks, bye.